express my feelings, start my mind.
Recording in progress.
So we're going to open the floor for questions at this point in time. So for those persons who are virtually on Zoom, they can raise their hand. If we have questions in audience as well, you can also raise your hands as well. So we look forward to your questions as well. All right, we're going to start with a question virtually on Zoom from Matthew McAnuff-Jones. Matthew, please unmute and go ahead.
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening, Matthew.
Yeah. Well, seemed as if in the first half, the press was a bit off, and specifically Anthony Robinson, when he inverted, it seemed as if he dragged a lot of our players out of position and it caused a lot of disarray. What did you see in the first half specifically that were the glaring issues with the Reggae Boys tonight?
I think we could see that they were the better team in the first half. They played very well on transition. It caused us problems in build-up. But in the first half, we were passive defensively. Kept giving the ball away, and USA hit us on transition and scored 3 goals. So it was a mountain to climb at half time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Matthew, let's hear from Livingston Scott. Go ahead.
Yes, Coach. Similar question to him, though, Coach. But I'm going to put it this way. The press, you think we're having an issue defending with the press? As a team, we used to more defending with the block. And tell me how much you learned from the team for this game.
Sorry, I can't hear.
The press, do you think that we have a problem dealing with the press of the United States?
It's one of the first things we said when we came in, that we're building this team. We're building it differently. We want to build from the back. We want to keep possession. We want players who can deal with the ball. And you're absolutely right. They pressed aggressively, and that's when you need composure, courage to take the ball and deal with the ball. And I think that was our biggest issue in the first half, and we never dealt with that properly. But it's something that from day one we've said that if you're in the dressing room and you're out on the field, you have to be able to deal with the ball under pressure, and they did it better than we did, and it's something we need to develop in our game, and something that we will, if we want to progress to the next stage and get to the level that we want and to qualify for the World Cup 26. We have to be able to not only defend with spirit and be aggressive, but the key in the modern game is to be able to deal with the ball, and the USA in the first half especially did it better than us.
All right, let's take another question from Bryce. You can go ahead.
Coach, good night. Tonight was one of your first real tests against a traditional, this fixture was one of your first real tests against one of the traditional giants in Concacaf. And what have you learned now from these two legs against the USA about Concacaf as a region, or what needs to be done if Jamaica wants to qualify for World Cup and climb up the ranks?
I think, there've been interesting games in CONCACAF with Cuba, Nicaragua, Honduras twice, and we deserved after the games to finish top of our group. And then the real test is obviously against the top three, or certainly the top 5 or 6 ranked teams, and that's where we test ourselves and pit ourselves against the best, and we've come up short. And I've said to the players, we have tremendous spirit. We stick together. We could have folded at halftime. We didn't. I said at halftime, we have to win the second half. That's so important. And at halftime, you can only change 3 things, which is shape, personnel, and attitude. And I think we did that. We defended with a back 5. So yes, we had 6 defenders on the field. It gave us a foothold in the game. We only made 1 personnel change, which was Richard King to come in and make a 5, lose a man in midfield. Of course, I thought he was excellent. Dealt with the ball, real composure, good passing. A sign for the future. And we changed the attitude. We were on the front foot. We weren't passive. We were aggressive. And that gave us opportunities. We had opportunities before we scored. We scored. We had opportunities again. But we were always vulnerable on the transition. And the 4th goal was, kick in the teeth. But still, we came back. I mean, that's character, that's courage. That's what the team has got. We have to build on that by tactically and technically better, because that's what the USA were tonight.
Coach, can you recap what these 3 camps have been like so far for you thus far with Jamaica?
The 3 camps have been a real education. I spoke to the players. It's great people, great players. I love the players. I've loved every camp. The players have got great spirit, great energy together, good vibe, and they want to work. They want to improve. They want to get better. They want to win. They want to qualify for World Cup 2026. So I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the development also of the staff, working with them, and enjoy working with the JFF, and we've done that quite closely. We've had lots of conversations, and I think the real telling in terms of the 3 camps is we've used 37 players. So I've certainly had a look at a lot of players who can represent Jamaica, and that's too many. For whatever reason, injuries, not playing, suspensions. We've had a real good look, and that's what I want in the first 3 camps, to have a real good look, set the standards, be more professional, and develop a style and a way of playing that I believe is the modern game, and I believe will help us to qualify, but not just for 2026, but for the future of football, for 2030, because there's a lot of young talent that I see, and we need to develop them technically and tactically, because they've got a great spirit, which is a great foundation and a foothold. So I was delighted with the response in the second half. I'm delighted with the camps. It's a process, I know, and in that process, you're going to have good nights and bad nights. And we've had good ones. We finished top of our group. Great results against Honduras away, Nicaragua. Shows the spirit. Deserved to finish top, but this was a real test, and we've come up short. But we know the areas where we need to improve. That is development. That is also recruitment. And that for the next 3 months until the next camp in March is what we will be doing. A lot of hard work and working hard with the JFF to maintain the standards and continue the improvement in terms of professionalism, organisation, and the staff have certainly bought into that, and that's key. Buying into the process, which everyone has done. You have good nights and bad nights tonight. It's not a good one, but on reflection, we'll learn, and it will make us better in the future.
Let's hear from Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie, unmute. Eddie, you're still muted. Can you unmute?
Yes, thank you, Simon. Coach, over the 2 legs, would you say you got it wrong tactically?
Strange because I don't know if I was criticised in the first game for playing 6 defenders, 5 at the back. That's not the way to play. I'm playing 4-3-3, which is what we've been playing. And going 3-0 down at half time and then changing to 6 defenders, and we won the second half, which we asked the players to do. So I don't think anything about tactics or systems. It's our principles. You can't win football matches unless you're aggressive. We were passive in the first half. You have to defend properly. We didn't do that. And we didn't deal with the ball. So that's not tactics. That is football. Second half, in terms of football, we were aggressive. We defended a little better, though still the 4th goal was a disappointment. And we dealt with the ball a little bit better, or we played to our strengths, which was transition. So, yes, you'll get criticised because you played 6 defenders in the first game, and then you will get criticised for playing 4-3-3 in the first half and winning the second half in 6 defenders in a 5-4-1. As I say, it's not about tactics, about players, principles of being aggressive, defending properly, and dealing with the ball.
Thanks, Eddie. We can take 2 more. Firstly, Tyrone, go ahead.
Yes, good day, good afternoon. Thank you, Simon. Coach, really about you, really good. My question is this: the change of the wing back, putting on Trevor Gray for Kingston. What was that change for? Because I thought that's not a good game in Kingston, keep it politic at bay, and then the change on Trevor. What was the strategy?
Simple. Dexter's injured. Had a hamstring injury after the first game, so couldn't play in the second game.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 1 more. Let's go to Sports Lab TV. Go ahead.
Good night, Coach. Thank you, Simon. This is CC. So my question, Coach, given that you say you play 6 defenders in Jamaica and you start with a 4-3-3 in the US, do you think if you approach the game from a more aggressive standpoint at home and then being a little bit more conservative with 6 defenders from the start in the away game, your results could have been different?
Who knows? That's hypothetical. No one will be able to answer that because that is football. But no, I think the principles are the same. Whatever shape you play, whatever system, If you're passive, you don't win. If you defend poorly, you don't win. If you don't deal with the ball, you don't win. And, you know, we talked a lot about the first game, and we talk a lot about the chances we had and the XG, which was higher for us than the US. And it was higher in the first half, where we created opportunities on transition from that shape. And, you know, we did similar tonight from that shape. And we scored 2 goals. The difference was we missed a penalty and an unbelievable clearance off the line. Looked like a handball. So we didn't have the luck in the first game. So no, I understand the question, I understand the point, and I understand everybody when they lose and it doesn't work, that you get criticised for that. But it's not about shape, it's about how you play within that shape. So it doesn't matter whether we played 6 defenders or 4-3-3. The principles are you have to be aggressive, you have to defend properly, and you have to be able to deal with the ball. That is what our strength normally is. We are aggressive. Our strength is normally we defend well. We need to improve in being able to deal with the ball better, build from the back better, with more composure, and have more courage, which we showed in the second half.
Coach, as you know, 2024 is coming to a close. How much are you looking forward to the next calendar year, 2025, which is a defining year, as you know, for Jamaica? World Cup qualifiers, Gold Cup qualifiers, amongst other fixtures on the horizon.
As I say, I've enjoyed it. As I said before, we've used 37 players, and that's what we've used. And we've had others which we've had in the camp and we've not used. So there's been a lot of players come through the door. That doesn't bode well for consistency. It bodes well for looking at the bigger picture, looking at every talent. Are they aggressive? Can they do defensive duties? And can they deal with the ball? They're the 3 principles we really work from. And the 3 camps, as I said, have been great. Now is the time for reflection. It's a process. And during the process, you try things. Sometimes they work, you learn. Sometimes they don't work, you learn. And you move on to the next. And the process will be ongoing. I'm delighted where we are at the present moment. I'm disappointed tonight with the result. But I needed to see the team against better opposition. And I didn't want to, what we call in England, park the bus. I'd be really negative. I wanted to be positive. And we did that even in the first half on Thursday. We created chances. Had 3 strikers who we stayed high and caused them problems. And this game was, they were better first half. But as I said, show some courage, win the second half. And they did that.
Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you very much, everybody on Zoom.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Express my feelings, start my mind.